World War II was the bloodiest and most violent war in U.S. history.
The USA had to do many things to prepare the soldiers for war.
The Army took action in Casper and built an airbase in the short span of 6 months.
They built over 100 barracks for the soldiers to live in that averaged 20 to 40 men each. The barracks did not contain toilets or showers, so the soldiers had to walk up to a block away in order to use the bathrooms.
On the front of the buildings, they had vestibules, which were covered entrances on the front of the barracks, which kept cold weather and snow from cooling the entire building.
In order to entertain themselves, the soldiers did many things. They enjoyed going to dances and going to movies at the movie theater on the base.
They also enjoyed doing athletic things, such as playing hockey and roller skating.
Although the soldiers did many things for fun, they also had many responsibilities.
They had to clean their barracks for inspection, they trained every day for hours at a time, and they had to exercise to make sure that they were ready for combat.
On the grounds of the base, they had a hospital that contained several sections.
They planned the sections strategically so that if one section was bombed, the others would stay intact and the nurses could continue to tend to soldiers who needed medical assistance.
Next to the hospital, the base had a mental hospital. Here, the Army housed patients who were undergoing mental health disorder and were unable to think clearly.
This building also served as a type of jail in which one soldier who committed the one and only murder on the base was held.
In spite of the typical stereotype that we give mental facilities, this hospital was meant to be a place for the men to heal, so they played games and sang songs quite often.
Most of the soldiers were married or engaged, so it was common for their wives to accompany them to each town that they were stationed at.
Wives of young soldiers were provided with an Army Women's Handbook, which told them how to pertain the role of being an Army wife.
Most women found on the airbase were wives of soldiers, but there were in fact very few women soldiers, such as Doris Bristol.
Bristol was the first woman to work with the military while in action and perform duties.
She worked at Casper Army Air Base as co-pilot using B-24s for test flights before they were passed on to soldiers for training. She also flew target planes that allowed soldiers to practice shooting.
Bristol was set to pursue her goals. While staying in the nurses' quarters, she refused to fill a position as a nurse and continued to work with the military.
Soon after arriving at Casper Army Air Base, Bristol was certified to fly B-24 heavy bombers.
Bristol led the revolution of women soldiers who dreamed of being in the military and serving for their country.
Casper Army Air Base closed in March 1945. Many, in fact most of the original structures, are still standing today. During the war, Casper was known to be a fun town where you could go see movies and many other entertaining things. Casper was mainly a normal town, and most soldiers enjoyed being stationed here.
Casper leads an important part of history from World War II. From the airbase to the living veterans, all around is a story to be told.